A very good evening to you and welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set program number 158 on the 2nd of July. Can you believe it is July? I was turning over the page of my diary and I thought, oh, well, here we are. That was May and we're in June. And then I thought, no. We've done June. We are now in July. The year is racing by. So a very good evening to all of you in the chat room. Lots of people in the chat room tonight. How wonderful. Lots of chat going on about sponges and pavlovas and raspberries. So there we go. But you are most welcome and I do hope this finds you well. It has been a little cooler this week, but still nice and summery. It's been nicer not to be quite so hot, I think. As I say, you're most welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set. And, oh, hello, Ollie. Hello, Robertson Clan as well. Yeah, I know. Nights are drawing in, Barb, I tell you. Yes, indeed, brother. That was the rather wonderful music from the late 1970s, early 1980s TV programme Tales of the Unexpected. Which was famous for a lot of things. Its titles were especially famous, sort of almost like a James Bond style, with those sort of graphics and with the dancing silhouette of the lady dancing away there, and of course that music we had as our opening this evening, which was composed by this chap who has amazing wallpaper. Sorry, I'm not jealous, honestly. Ron Grainer composed that. He composed it in the 1970s. And, of course, Ron Grainer also most famously composed the theme music to Doctor Who, to The Prisoner. What else did he compose? Oh, Steptoe and Son as well. So a very clever little bit of music, I think. It's so simple. But it's just hypnotic, the way it just sort of goes round and round, literally. Round and round and round and round. But it's the instrumentation and the way it is combining those graphics that make it absolutely memorable. So that was our opening music this evening on a Date with a Dinner Set. Now I'm going to guess, Bob, that was dear Jenny rather than my Catherine. I'm going to guess, just going to guess, but you never know. Wonderful. Anyway, you're here, I'm here, the piano is here. I'm going to have a bit of coffee. We're back to coffee. That's an indication that the temperature's dipped a little bit, so do enjoy our program this evening, and if you want to join in the chat room and you're with us in the chat room, you want to talk about mainly the music. I think we've probably done sponges, and yes, we've done sponges, pavlovas now, so we're on to music. If you want to talk about the music, the composer, the context, anything like that, you are most welcome, and I do hope you enjoy our usual mix here this evening on a Date with a Dinner Set, program 158. Oh, I'm just going to say hi to Hannah. I know you can't join in the chat, Hannah, because I know you're driving, but I know you're listening. And you never know. It could be that it's a better way to do that rather than read some of the chat in this bizarre chat room. Okay, enjoy the show. You lot are so experienced, aren't you, the way this program works, and you get to know the styles and all that sort of thing. So, in a way, we've sort of we've actually had almost all the correct information, just not all from one person. Um, So yeah, as Miles said, it's not Brazil. When I saw Brazil, brother Mark, I mean you're correct about the country and the composer is Brazil, but not the actual Brazil as a song. Um, right, yeah, right country, absolutely. And Alison says it sounds a bit samba-ish, and that's correct. Ollie's got half a title. Jill's got the actual beat, which is a bossa nova. It's fantastic. The actual title is Summer Samba. Summer Samba. It's got an alternative title of So Nice, and it was composed in 1964. Not by Tom Hewin. Probably the only bossa nova for a few years in the 60s that wasn't composed by Tom Hewin, but this was actually composed by this chap who's very much still with us, Marcos Valle. And it's a really sort of nice, even though it's got the title Samba, it is actually a bossa nova beat. But then, let us not forget, as we've heard before on this program, a bossa nova, a new beat, if you like, is very much related to the samba. It is a kind of much more laid back, a slowed down samba. So the way the beats and the subdivisions of the beats work are exactly the same. Yeah, absolutely, a teamwork. very, very impressive. Gosh, it's almost like you all sort of know each other, really, isn't it? So, you've all been meeting up as friends. Perish the thought, eh? Anyway, that's what that was from 1964, Summer Samba, or So Nice. There's a different recording of it on my channel somewhere. So on A Date with a Dinner Set, as you know, what we try and do each week is to do a mixture of things, and we usually have some standards, some film music, some music from the shows, sometimes something in 3/4, sometimes a bit of Latin, that sort of thing, a nice mixture. Oh, and since about last September, October, we've been trying to do at least one new song each week, and tonight is no exception. So that was a cracking start, good people. Well done. Obviously, it was, too hot in the past few weeks, but now the brains are functioning. When will we have an in-person date? Is that not what we're doing now? I'm real. This is real. What are you chatting about? Oh, I think I know what you mean. Oh, no, Alison. Absolutely not. I'll tell you for why. I know and love you all in different ways, either as friends or being related to you. But oh my goodness me, no, put you lot in the same room as each other, it would be carnage. Absolute carnage. And I wouldn't like to say, Alison, who'd come off worse. I wouldn't, Got a fair idea, mind. Anyway, on to the next song. And in addition to friends and family, ex-students as well, of course. Ollie, hello, Danny. Nice to see you. Here's our next song. Hello, Auntie Roz. How lovely to see you. Nearly forgot. How could you forget your least forgettable nephew? Yes. Oh, we're on the wrong camera. There we go. That was, yes, someone to watch over me, as Kate was the first to say properly, Jill, yeah, we'll give you, should we give you half a point? No. Anyway, that's what it was. And of course, as Miles said, sung by Gertrude Lawrence in the 1926 musical OK, as composed by Mr. George Gershwin, currently with a pipe, it would seem. Good old George, he loved a good smoke, be it a pipe, a cigar, or a cigarette. Very happy chappy, I feel. But that is, I think, one of his most wonderful ballads. And from 1926, that's what it was. So, I was thinking, I've been because we're in summer mode now. I've been sort of you've probably been noticing I've been decorating the. Yeah, it's my show. I've been decorating the piano. And tonight we have sort of the palm trees, and whilst I was playing that, I was looking at what you were looking at, which was this view, and I thought, now what does that remind me of? I mean, it occurred to me, it's a bit like those trees in Tracy Island that burp to let Thunderbird 2 out. I don't know, before my time. Elderly brother, can you help out? Was it Thunderbird 2 that had the parting palm trees? Palm Court, indeed, yeah, Palm Court. I don't know what you're talking about, but I see palm. Yeah, with you. Anyway, there we go. We're going to whiz on to the next. Indeed, Thunderbird. It was, wasn't it? With the trees like that. Right, next piece of music inspired. Thank you, Miles. Next piece of music inspired by something on my journey this morning. I thought, crikey, is it that time of year already? Because these look beautiful. Here we go. You see, Miles and my dear old brother, you're clearly from a different generation, way before my time. But well done. Thank you so much for putting me right about that. Us youngsters, we do have to look to you elderly people, to help us through life. Indeed, they were some jolly little pictures there. And on my almost daily commute to wherever it is I'm commuting or going, there's a particularly nice display of those hollyhocks. Hollyhocks. It's obviously a very good year for hollyhocks, and that, as somebody said, sorry, it's gone past in the chat. Oh, hello, Daisy. It was composed by Billy Mayerl, here of the Dancing Fingers, the composer of many, many hundreds of novelties, probably 400. Also, lots and lots of suites. And that's a rather nice segue from that little number, which he composed in 1920. Yes, brother Mark. Quite a sensible suggestion from my brother. Yeah. Notice my lips are sealed. I was going to add to that sentence. Quite a sensible suggestion from my brother there. Yeah, anyway, it's a nice segue to this week's upload. We're now back to sort of normality, having had our 21 days of summer. This week's upload on Friday was another Billy Mayerl piece. Oh, was it Jill? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh yes, I just seen it as it was going past. Housewife's Choice was. Oh, hang on. Housewife's Choice. When housewives have a choice. Ah, right. No. This is a similar era. Housewife's Choice was otherwise known as a piece called In a Party Mood by Jack Strachey. Anyway, back to me. So this week's upload was another Billy Mayerl. It was the Ace of Clubs from the Four Aces suite. In all fairness, yeah, sorry, I can see it now. Jill, you did get the composer and oh no, but Daisy got okay. Oh, Jill and Daisy, you can share a point. How lovely, because Jill got the composer and Daisy got the title. Is that fair? Oh, we do like to be fair, because everything's got to be fair and nice, hasn't it? Because we're not allowed to be anything but. Up, aren't you? Very on the ball, isn't she on the ball, my auntie? Very inclusive, my love. I quite agree. Could not agree more. So I won't. But Hollyhock is what that was from 1928. Let's move on swiftly. Oh, hello, Anne. Are you after some of your sister's points? So very, very logical suggestions you're making, sadly or wrong, on this occasion. But it's quite interesting. I can see why you're saying things like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Disney, etc. Yes, yes, Bob, you are there. You are there. Go for it, Bob. As if we never said goodbye. And it was from Sunset Boulevard by Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't seem to have a picture, but we all know what he looks like, don't we? Sunset Boulevard, composed in 1993, which was, of course, based itself on the 1950 film. It's one of those musicals I'd love to see, actually. Some really nice music. Anyway, that's what it was. It was As If We Never Said Goodbye, from 1993, from Sunset Boulevard. But very good suggestions. I am impressed. Almost. As always, everything you see and watch on this channel is free to watch, but if you wish to make a donation to help with the running of the channel, and not just for endless supplies of coffee, then you know how to do that, because it is really the Wi-Fi that Virgin Media, other broadband suppliers are available. Keep putting up. So any donations, whenever you wish to make them, are always welcome. There is a link beneath the video description, but as always, it is www.paypal.me/GG the Piano Man. I'm still thinking about my little Thunderbird palms. Yeah. On we will go. I hope you're having a good time here on A Date with a Dinner Set programme 158. 2nd of July, as Bob said, more than halfway through the year. Truly frightening. Indeed, from Annie, the musical, which was originally from 1976 when it first started previewing, and of course was made into a film first of all in 1980. I believe there have been at least 3 films since. But there we go. And as composed by the man with the very dirty piano, Mr. Charles Strouse. I want to go up there with my little microfiber and buff up his Steinway, or whatever it is. Those fingerprints, they're shocking, aren't they? It was Hannah that pointed that out to us. Anyway, there is a very smiley composer of Annie, Mr. Charles Strouse, still very much with us. And as you said between you, that song was You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile. An amazing show musically. Who's seen it? Jill. Yeah, great show. Every song is just classic, and very clever pastiche, very clever lyrics. So do say if you get the chance to, and you've not seen it, but that's what it was. You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile from Annie. If you're here in the chat room, obviously you know all this, but if you have happened upon this jolly little program, which we do here on A Date with Innocent, you want to take part, you need to be subscribed in order to take part in the chat. If you want to know when things are happening, press that bell notification. Here on this channel, the channel that is YouTube, GG the Piano Man. As you know, what we do is this live program every Sunday at 18:30, usually for about an hour, or until we get fed up with each other. There is a video upload every Friday. And, well, there isn't anymore. But we did have a special last Sunday, didn't we? Oh, speaking of which, yeah, we had our Benny Bjorn special. And it's really freaky what's happened. I looked at the analytics, the viewing analytics, and we've had a lot of viewers. I think about 150-something viewers, which is quite extraordinary for this channel after 7 days. And it's catapulted that video into the sort of top 25 of our live happenings. And don't forget, with everything we've done on the channel since 2020, we've had about 200 live events. And already last week's program has been... sorry, I mustn't read the chat. You put me off. Yeah, so already last week's program has catapulted into the top 25 videos. So there you go. You hear it all here. What are you talking about? Anyway, very jolly. Love it. Okay. Yes. Yes, we must get that piano clean. I must find a different picture. It's just come on, let's look at those fingerprints again. We just got to do it, haven't we? Because some stage manager should have been absolutely shot for not cleaning that. It's such a nice picture of him, and I rather like that tie as well that he's wearing. Oh, maybe we'll I don't know. Maybe we'll clean it up digitally. We'll digitally enhance it, I think. Anyway, we're going to go on with the next piece of music. It's not a bird, but very interesting. It almost could be, couldn't it? Yes, we've had it. I think this is the fourth time we've had it in the past 3 years, and it's a very romantic, slightly sort of sad song. Indeed, the smoky red rose, but we have the discoloured smoke on this occasion. The ending is one of his characteristic manoeuvres. Sorry, I'll find it a minute. This bit. That is a very characteristic move, which could almost be backward, but in actual fact, it was this chappie, Mr. Richard Carpenter. And the title of the song is on that album, Something in Your Eyes, and it's from 1987. 1987, Richard Carpenter, written by, produced by, orchestrated by, arranged by, blah, 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 and as sung by Dusty Springfield. And the whole album it's taken from is an album called Time, and that album was dedicated to Karen Carpenter, who passed away a few years before, and so the whole album was dedicated. And in fact, that one, Something in Your Eyes, Richard had written some time before, specifically with Karen's voice in mind. It is a very beautiful song. So there you go. Do remember to like and comment and to share, and if you're not subscribed, to subscribe, or to remind people to subscribe and to like and to comment and to share and to subscribe and share and comment and like, etc. Here's one of our favourites, which comes up fairly often. Jean, if you're still there, this is one of your favourites, I know. Indeed, indeed. I know you all love that one. We haven't had everybody here, actually, interestingly. Moon River, of course, as composed by Mr. Henry Mancini. There he is, another smiley chappie. And there he is with Audrey Hepburn, of course, who starred in that film. The piece with music was composed in 1960, and the film, I believe, was released in 1961. And Henry Mancini once said that he composed that in about 20 minutes. How very sickening is all I can say, but marvellous tune, marvellous lyric, and some rather unique chords in that one, sort of Mancini-esque chords. Bob, was it you that met Henry Mancini? Oh no, it's me. It's you that's met Frank Sinatra. Anyway, there we go. Moon River is what it was. So wider than a mile, indeed. And so from something very, very cute to something equally cute as we go and visit our otters and see what they're up to over near Tokyo. Here are Kotaro and Hana. And this week, it was me. Thank you. Kotaro and Hana, and life is a bowl of cherries, it would seem. And I thought that was quite topical, because there are some amazing cherries in the shops at the moment, some amazingly overpriced cherries in the shop. But they're not really eating them because they, it's not their sort of food, really, is it? But clearly, Dad likes to use every opportunity to play games with the house otters. Quite right, Kotaro doesn't ingest fruit. There we go, little public health warning on that. I hadn't seen that earlier. But of course, anything like this is just it's just a wonderful excuse for something like an otter to have a great game with, isn't it? So that's Kotaro, who doesn't normally sort of play with things in that way. It'd be nice to do that, just to slide along your polished floor with a couple of cherries, because that's what life's all about, isn't it? Yeah, child's play is for children. I'm not quite sure what Kotaro is trying to do. It rather looks like he's trying to stuff them underneath that door, which is probably not a good idea. Yes, indeed, that's what he's doing. He's doing cherry research, which is clearly very important. But the person who is actually rather good with cherries is, of course, Hana. And Hana is, as we know, I think, very, very good at juggling. And so this is an ideal thing to juggle. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? We all want otter paws now. Well, maybe not, actually. But I'd like to be able to juggle. So there we go. So that's that's just it is. You're right, Alison. It's an otter's life, isn't it? Just give them a few cherries and they're happy for hours and hours. So there we go. Relocating to the pool. So there we go. There's our visit to Kotaro and Hana on their channel Kotsumet with 1.75 million subscribers. There is a link underneath this video description. Well, they come in all colours. They come in all colours. Well, not all colours. I've yet to see a blue one. But there we go. Oh, here we go. Don't start that, Mark. David James isn't in the chat room tonight, so we don't have to sort of be nice to David and sort of go along with his dad jokes there. So there we go. So with the otters visited for the week, that means that we've got two more pieces of music to go. And obviously, as always in the world, there's lots of things been happening this week. I believe Henley Regatta is finishing today. Yesterday was Pride March in London. tomorrow Wimbledon starts. Am I correct on that? I don't know. I think so. But of course, on Tuesday will be July the 4th. So I thought that our final two pieces of music this evening would be a little early. Wello. Good evening. Good evening, David. I didn't think you were here. Wonderful. Anyway, our final two pieces of music this evening, a little early tribute to July the 4th celebrations. So I do hope you enjoy. Thank you, Roz. Thank you. Very, very quick off the ball there, Mr. Richardson, closely followed by Barb. It was indeed Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans, composed in 1947. And it was composed by this chappie, Louis Alter, was his name. Now look, do you remember, some of you, there was a time when we were comparing pictures of Glenn Miller with Tommy Dorsey, both trombonists, and they both looked almost identical. This is so spooky, and I only realised it about half an hour before liftoff this evening when I looked at the pictures. So there's Louis Alter, all right, Louis Alter, who composed that one in 1947, and here from 1979 is Ron Grainer, Doctor Who and Tales of the Unexpected. Aren't they similar? I had to check, but I hadn't got it all wrong in uploading the pictures. I find that really, really very spooky. Anyway, so just before we launch into our final piece of music this evening on A Date with a Dinner Set, programme 158 here on the 2nd of July, another reminder, if you would be so kind to give it the thumbs up, give it a like, because it does help our channel. Yeah, we just got to look at that one more time. Louis Alter, who composed Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans? He was an American pianist and composer in 1947, and Ron Grainer from Great Britain. Absolutely bizarre. Anyway, we're going to launch into our final bit of music this evening. As I say, our last two songs are an early sort of celebration for July the 4th, happening on Tuesday because it's July the 4th. We've not had this piece of music. You'll instantly recognise it, I hope, and I hope you enjoy it. And afterwards, of course, we will say goodnight in our usual way. So do enjoy our final song this evening, and do call out what you think it is. So that brings us to the end of A Date with a Dinner Set here on July the 2nd, programme 158, with, of course, loads of you said, the Liberty Bell March by John Philip Sousa, the March King, as Miles said, composed in 1893. Oh, wow. Thanks, Maggie, and thanks, Jerry, and thank you all. Good fun and lots of wonderful, helpful comments in the chat room. Have a great week, whatever it is you are doing, and I look forward to the great pleasure of playing for you next Sunday evening. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening and watching, and good night.